Any other questions, Dan?
I had a question. Dealing with when someone who is here is then extradited back to their original country because their visa frame has come to an end, is the problem that they cannot apply for that visa here in the United States while in the United States, or it's still the requirement that they have to return to their native country of origin to make those applications, and then they do not want to then return? Where do you see that actual bottleneck happening of the lack of return?
Well, I think I'll address one specific part of it. So when we, obviously, a large portion of the people that we kick out from Colorado are returned to Juarez, Mexico, where they then have to wait. Juarez is rated by Department of State as a place that Americans should not go to. And in fact, we had some people that we sent there and they were killed because it is the ground zero for the gang warfare. So that is kind of the waiting area for people who want to get in the right way. I mean, people can say, oh, there's a right way to do it. Well, the right way to do it is to sit on your haunches in Juarez for a year and you're in a war zone with drug cartels firing back and forth. It just makes no sense.
So a couple things, keep in mind the different, we've mixed a lot of sort of different immigration issues. Yeah. So as far as, Brad talked about the employer relationship. We're okay as a country if you're trying to immigrate to work for somebody. We're really bad if you're an entrepreneur. So that's why the startup visa, there is no startup visa, right? So if you start a company here and we kick you out, there's no go home wait. You're done.
And we're not quite okay if you want to work for somebody. I mean, maybe we get like a D or D minus.
Okay. I think it's a C plus.
I mean, it's hard.
Okay, fine. You know, we suck at that too.
Yeah,
but we really
but
suck.
we get an outright F for
right, but it is possible.
Yeah.
You know, you're a student and you get extradited or kicked out. You can wait. You can get, you know, maybe somebody hires you to come back. These other ones, there's chances you can come back. There's no chance if you want to be the entrepreneur. There's no chance if you want to start your own company. You're gone.
And a lot of these visa types do have sort of artificial caps on the number of years you can have. You can have an L1B visa, for example, for 5 years, and you have to spend a year outside of the United States. Even if you have essential skills, even if there is a place for you in this labor market because there's not a qualified or willing worker to do your job, you're stuck. And it does involve some fairly tortured maneuvers that people have to go through in order to either reclaim, change visa types. One example that always hits me, a few years ago we ran out of H-1Bs really quickly. In fact, we had almost twice as many applications on the first day that H-1Bs were available than there were actually visas available. And what Microsoft ended up doing was taking a lot of these folks who had missed the H-1B cap and couldn't get visas because it turned into a random lottery, and they essentially moved them to Canada for a year, where it's a little bit more welcoming. Started up an enterprise in Canada with a lot of those folks, so it does become something.
And this affects nonprofits too. Just from my own background, I founded a chain of charter schools called New America School, and we brought in a superintendent. He had been a regional superintendent in Toronto to be our system-wide superintendent. And we brought him in under the 1-year visa thing from Mexico, Canada, which is TN, right? And it's only renewable once, and it's just renewable by the skin of your teeth. It's like some consul in an office in wherever the border crossing is from Toronto is going to make a decision. So we're so nervous. I mean, what if this guy woke up on the wrong side of the bed one day and our superintendent who's been there a year can't come back the second year? And so fortunately, I mean, just by the skin of our teeth, I mean, it's kind of random. He gave him the thing and he was able to be there another year and we're able to get his permanent, green card after that. But I mean, it could have just as easily gone the other way. And he helped, and that's jobs in the nonprofit sector. New America School is growing to employ probably about 200 people in Colorado and New Mexico over the last 6 years. And again, just by the skin of our teeth and the flip of a coin, they gave him another year on his TN visa.
Yeah, it does feel like a crapshoot to a lot of my foreign national clients who go anywhere really in terms of what's going to happen at the consulate. And with consular officers shift through, political winds change, and sometimes the visa that worked well last summer all of a sudden isn't going to work right now.
And I should say that one of the things, the services that my congressional office offers is we do help make the case, particularly on appeals, when one that you or your clients or your customers have been turned down by a consul and you think the actions are arbitrary. We can attempt. There's usually some sort of process for that, and my office frequently does letters of support if it's something that we can get behind. So feel free to contact my office for that help.